I'm going to go with Baltimore. Not only because I'm a fan, but just because the Texans are just not a good football team. CJ Stroud, he's found ways to lose football games, really going all the way back into last year. Once, after they beat the Bears, he was giving Caleb Williams advice, and he should have took his own advice. He should have tightened up. So I'm never, ever going to bet on CJ Stroud at this rate that he's going. He's getting worse and worse. The regression is real. So I'm going to definitely take Ravens money line. That's an easy way to double your money, plus 110. You cannot go wrong. Even though the Ravens are beat up right now, the Ravens are doing really bad. Lamar, he's out, quarterback of the team. Roquan, quarterback of the defense, he's out. Marlon's out. Best defensive lineman is out. Ronnie Stanley, best offensive lineman, is out. Broderick Washington is out. Man, we got a lot of guys out. Kyle Hamilton, he's limited. He might not play. Nate Wiggins might not play. So our best two corners might not play. Best safety might not play. It's rough. Van Noy might not play. It's rough right now for the Ravens, man. It's a bad time. But even with that being said, still, I'm going to take the Ravens just because they've shown that they are just a good organization. Not just because I'm a fan, but the Ravens are a good organization. So definitely just take the Ravens money line. Don't get greedy. Don't try to add any points. But now that we got that out of the way, as far as the betting lines and, how we're going to bet and, and all of that, let's just talk about the Ravens and these injuries for a second, because as a Ravens fan, I will say I am worried. I'm very worried when it comes to this season. Lamar, hamstring, that's a nagging injury. Him and Roquan both got hamstrings. That's an injury where it's easy to tweak it. Even once you heal it up 100%, the hamstring still can go at any point. So I don't know, Lamar. That means either Lamar or Roquan can be gone at any moment throughout the season, basically, bro. That means they're both pretty much done. Grade 2, I don't know the severity of the grades, but I know when I ran track and played football, once I got a hamstring injury, not just a cramp, but an injury, it's going to bother you. It's going to bother you for a while. That thing has to heal up, and it takes time. Ronnie Stanley's out, the big man. It's not like the Texans have anybody on the outside rushing, on the end rushing, that the Ravens really need to worry about, in my opinion. I like Will Anderson in the middle. Not worried about Will Anderson. So I think the offensive line will be fine. The corners, which is really the biggest concern, just because Marlon's out, and if Wiggins doesn't play, that's going to be a big concern. Both of our top two corners are out. But like I said, CJ Stroud is regressing. He's regressing. He is regressing bad. He's regressing right in front of our eyes. So he's not going to find a way to get the ball where it needs to go every time. I have my faith. I put faith that CJ Stroud will not be able to put the ball where it needs to be on time every time, regardless of who's playing defensive back. Just from what he showed me over the last 20 games. So we're not worried about CJ Stroud or the receivers. Defensive line troubles. The defense is beat up. The defense is really, really shaky right now. But I don't think the defense is going to be shaky this game. Even with the injuries, I think the Ravens defense is going to beat up on the Texans, just because the Texans aren't really good. But we're going to find out. Now, while we're looking at the Ravens, another thing that I just cannot ignore is the defensive coordinator. We have to talk about Mr. Zack Orr. Zack Orr, great man, great guy. I'm sure he takes care of whatever kids he has. I'm sure he's a great husband if he has a wife. Not a good defensive coordinator. Sorry. Has to go. Immediately. Let his ass go right now. I'm sorry. Zack Orr has been giving up leads. He's been losing games we shouldn't be losing defensively week after week after week since he's been the defensive coordinator. The game against Buffalo earlier this this season, week 1, was atrocious by the defense. We're giving up 42, 45 points. Then we do the same exact thing against the Chiefs. And then we do the same exact thing against the Lions. And I haven't even started on what happened last year with this guy. He's trending down. He's never trended up. He's never trended. He's never it's never been a straight trend. It's always been down. He's going lower and lower. So why is he here? He's a young guy. All right. Born in 82. So what is he? 33, 34. Okay. That's great. I love that they gave the guy opportunity, but he's blown his opportunity. It's time for him to go. We need somebody in there that knows exactly what they are doing. Okay. We need somebody that knows what they're doing. We need a professional. We don't need somebody that played for us and somebody who knows our family and somebody who gets along with all the guys. No, we need somebody that knows how to coordinate the defense the whole game and the whole season, the whole way. Not in the beginning of the game when all the guys are fresh, not in the middle of the game, and not just in the end of the game. We need somebody who has a history of coordinating defenses. All right, this guy's too young. I'm not going to say he's terrible like I would against, I would say that about a lot of people with his record, that they're terrible. I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt because he's a Raven. But he is not good enough right now. He can go back to being a linebacker coach. That was a good spot for him. He can go and be a defensive coordinator, assistant coach. But he cannot coordinate a defense. No, he's shown that he cannot. He's shown that he cannot coordinate a defense. I'm sorry. Like, we're giving up leads every damn week. We're giving up leads. Anytime we play a good team now, we lose. Anytime we play a team that can adequately run the ball and just throw the ball on an average level, we lose. We beat the Browns. That's our only win this year. Now, our record wasn't the easiest record. Our schedule wasn't the easiest schedule. Buffalo, that's a hard game. Chiefs, the Chiefs go to the Super Bowl every year for the last couple of years. It's a good team. The Lions, Dan Campbell, he's getting those guys together. That's a tough team to beat. But we cannot go 0-3 against anybody. I don't care what the schedule is. We cannot lose 3 teams. We cannot lose 3 games to 3 teams in the same season within a month. We cannot keep losing these games, bro. This guy has to go. And it's getting to the point now, at this point in Lamar's career, we got to question whether or not John Harbaugh is the guy that can get him there. But I'm not even going to go there. That's another story for another day. All right. I like Harbaugh, but I'm just saying, I don't know. Maybe he needs to step it up big time.